Red Hot Chili Peppers, by the way. Alright, so we'll start off with this intro, and this also happens again in the bridge section. And we're just playing like interesting little voicings of the main progression here. Just real light, clean, and the bass is kind of adding certain notes to what's going on here. So we'll just kind of do like a conglomerate of, kind of what the bass and the guitar are doing, just to get the main riffs across here. And it'll start with this F, and just kind of a power chord shape, the 8A and 10 on the D. And this is all just eighth note strumming. Okay, so we're just just real light, easy, no big deal. And measure of that, and then we're going to move to a C shape. And this is kind of a funky inverted voicing of a C going on here. And all we're going to do is take our F that we had and just make that 8 a 7. So we get, like that C going on here and the E, which are part of the C. So it's a C. Okay. And we're just going to hang out there for a measure. Wind up on what's in the A minor chord, but we're just going to make like the power chord, the 5 on the E with the 7 on the A. And that we're just going to do 2 measures worth. Alright, and then we'll essentially go through it again, our 8 and 10 for the F. And I like to hold it this way because we're going to switch to some spots here that make it a little easier. We're going to go to that C again, but this time we're going to add another octave with the E. So, we'll have our 7A, 10, and if the 7A is too much of a stretch because the bass is kind of hitting that note, you can just worry more about just like the 10 on the D and the 9 on the G. But I like to throw them all in there because we want that note coming through now too. Right. And then to our A minor, and with this you can add an octave on this with the low A. Add that 7 on the D with the 7A and the 5 on the E. And with this, we get a fun little thing at the end where, we go through almost the full 2 measures, but the last couple beats, we drop up and we hit a couple 9s and a couple 7s on the G. It's a little fun little way to wrap that section up. Alright, and the next section, it's a new little hitch we throw in. We got our F at the 8 and 10 on the A and D. But now for the C, we're just going to straight up do a C power chord here at the 8 on the E, 10 on the A, so just shift up a set. And then just go down to our A at the 5 and 7. Alright, and to finish out the section here, we'll start with our F, our usual 8 and 10. And then we can throw in that higher octave with the C. Right. And from there, we just kind of keep that 9 on the G, but come down because we're going to make it A, and we want a certain voicing of an A, where we'll have the 7 on the D, keep that 9 on the G, and throw in a 10 on the B. Alright, we'll do a measure of that. And this builds, so once we get to the second measure of it, we can throw in that open A string with it and just start getting more dynamic and loud with it. Okay, and next we're going to get into our crazy verse section. Alright, so for the verse, this is very kind of just more of a percussive thing, and we're just dead string strumming here, and this is all, very fast. Okay, nothing crazy there. I like to kind of stay in this area because we're going to need some little accent notes here after, a good, 16 measures of just dead string strumming. So go through a good long period of that, and at the very end of that, we're going to add these little notes here. Especially we want to hit this C, this high C 8 on the E, and you can throw in a 10 with the B, and it's just a quick little 1, 2, 3, 4. I just like to upstroke that, just... It's just a little tiny little accent that happens there. Alright. And now we're going to build on that. We're going to throw in this D7 with the sharp 9 chord. and it's going to be up here. We're going to do, we kind of want to stay in this area. Helps us out a lot. We go 10 on the E, 9A, and then 10s on the DGB. Alright, and we're just going to go bang bang on it, just, and then continue with the dead strings, just to fill out the rest of the measure. And we're going to cruise through that just like that 3 times. Alright, we'll do it once more, but at the end of that final time, we're going to throw in those little accent notes, the 8 and the 10. Alright, and at the end of the verse, basically we're just going to throw out, that final measure of dead string strumming and just cruise through our D7 sharp 9 with, fill the measure there with the dead strings, go through that 3 times, and on the 4th time, we're just going to keep wailing away on that D7 sharp 9 and just build that up. Now for the chorus, pretty reminiscent of the intro progression, a couple new things in there. We're just going to do that full voiced F here, and that mid voice of it here, the 8A 10s on the DGB. And this is just kind of like a loose shuffle strum, kind of following what, like the drums are doing. Right. To the C, just a regular C bar chord here. To a D minor now. There's 2 measures of that. Back to the F, to the C, now to the A minor, and just 1 measure of this A minor, because that final measure we're going to bump it up to just a regular A sharp bar chord. Alright, and we would just cruise through that just like that for the choruses, but just a special note at the very last chorus, we would do that, and even once we get to like that final A sharp there, it kind of slows down, and then we just end the whole thing on a D minor chord. Alright, now for fun we can throw in this little interlude section that happens, and I want to say this is probably like a vocal thing that's going on, like maybe like a talk box or something into an effect or whatever, or who knows, but we can mimic it pretty well on guitar with a wah pedal, and just get some gain on there. And it's just this octave, this sliding octave, where we're going to go from a C, so we can do that 3 on the A, 5 on the G. We're just going to slide that up to a D at the 5 and 7 and repeat that, and with the wah we're just going to like go like back and forth right on the beat with it. Okay. Okay, so just about kind of getting the timing with that, and should work out pretty fine.